Introducing the new Volvo XC90. With 7-seat versatility, Google built-in, and advanced safety features for all your precious cargo. The new Volvo XC90, designed for life. Visit volvocars.com/US to learn more.
Shh. Hear that? Big waves are calling. Dive into refreshment with Kona Big Wave. Tropical flavor and the taste of aloha in every drop. So crack one open and let the great taste roll in. Kona Big Wave, Liquid Aloha. Copyright 2025 Kona Brewing Co., St. Louis, Missouri. Mahalo for enjoying responsibly.
On WhatsApp, no one can see or hear your personal messages. Whether it's a voice call, message, or sending a password. To WhatsApp, it's all just this. So whether you're sharing the streaming password in the family chat or trading those late-night voice messages that could basically become a podcast, your personal messages stay between you, your friends, and your family. No one else. Not even us. WhatsApp. Message privately with everyone.
Hey, it's Paris. You know I love sparkly things, right? Like stars. Duh. And thanks to Hilton and AutoCamp, I just slept under them. Picture me, serving looks by the fire outside my luxurious Airstream, making s'mores with the kids, while a national park is our backdrop. The great outdoors meets Hilton hospitality. That's hot. Explore all the new ways to stay at Hilton.com. Hilton for the stay.
Welcome back to Rams Up, your favorite LA Rams podcast. We are part of the Fans First Sports Network, and you can follow us on YouTube at youtube.com/@RamsUpPodcast. I'm your host, Mark. I'll be joined often by my football guru, Ian, along with a bunch of other friends of the show on occasion. Let's get to it. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Mark from Rams Up here. Going to get through some news and notes here, and I'm going to wrap things up this episode. Let's start thinking about what our expectations should be for this first preseason game. Ram fans, hopefully by now, have figured it out. It's not about wins and losses. It's about seeing a bunch of new guys, unproven guys, rookies, undrafted free agents, handful of second and third year guys out there on the field showing what they can do. And sometimes it doesn't look pretty, but it's just the way the Rams do business. I think any Detroit Lion fans out there, if you saw what happened to your team against the Chargers, hey, don't sweat it. It's the preseason, and it's an opportunity to see what players can do. You learn about your players. That's really what it is about. And the Rams, as we know, do more of that in camp than they do during the games. The games are almost an afterthought, the preseason games anyways. Hey, it's episode 791 on the podcast, and I was set to talk about a guy who wore number 90, but Ian and I got together for episode 90, and we didn't do a uniform number, talk about a player who wore number 90. So I'm going to do that today, even though it's episode number 91, 791. And talking about this guy, I have to tell you, after the greatest show on turf and until the McSnead era, how many draft picks did we make where the picks were actually fairly solid, but we never got the return on the player, even though, they weren't necessarily horrible picks, in my opinion. And I'm going to talk about another guy, and this is number 90, Adam Carricker. And he was drafted number 13th overall out of Nebraska in the 2007 draft, a defensive end, 6'6", 296. He was selected one pick before Darrelle Revis, unfortunately, but Carricker was not a bad player. Bulked up from 296 to 305 pounds for the 2007 season and went on to win the Rams Rookie of the Year award. Only played 2 years for the Rams, though, and he was played a little bit out of position. They traded him to the Redskins in April of 2010 in exchange for, well, actually, the teams just swapped 5th and 7th round picks, so not a lot of return for a former first round pick. 3 years with the Redskins, who switched him to end in the 3-4, their 3-4, as opposed to the 3 technique. that he was playing for the Rams, and they're 4-3 at the time. So he had a decent couple of years there with the Redskins. On July 25th of that final year with Washington, was placed on the physically unable to perform list, and he was eventually out of the league, released on March 4th, 2014. 31 games with the Rams and 55 combined tackles and 2 sacks. And again, I wouldn't say, well, first round pick, I guess we'd have to say it was a disappointing pick. But I think a lot of it had to do with the Rams misusing him perhaps, and then the injury and his career kind of got derailed. But Adam Carricker, number 90 for our then St. Louis Rams. So I wanted to go through some news and notes, and this was a few days ago. Eric Weddle was in camp, and it gave Sean McVay the opportunity to talk about the how lucky he has been coaching a lot of just outstanding men, and Eric Weddle has to be one of them based on the way Sean McVay was talking about him. Such a stud, I think is how he referred to him. And then you look at the guys that he has had the pleasure of coaching: class acts, Andrew Whitworth, Cooper Kupp, Weddle, and then great talents like Aaron Donald. And I think McVay just took the opportunity to count his blessings when seeing Eric Weddle back in camp hanging out with the guys. Hey, Zach Evans, a former draft pick of the Rams, was that 6th or 7th round? I forget. He has retired, never got rolling with the Rams. Some injury updates here. Cameron Curl is, he's had his ankle stepped on, remember, and he is week to week. Emmanuel Forbes should be back in 1 to 2 weeks. Alaric Jackson making some progress, doing some jogging, individual drills, so somewhat promising. And the Stetson Bennett buzz continues. Man, they're really happy. I'm excited to see what he can do, especially after we saw Trey Lance play pretty well in that Chargers-Lions Hall of Fame game. It's time for Bennett to show what he has. And, hey, a 2-time national champion that showed a lot of poise with Georgia. It's been a little bit of a rocky start, but he has an opportunity here to establish himself as a potential NFL starter down the road. Probably not for the Rams, but somewhere. Devontae Adams, I thought this was kind of funny, basically thinking of himself as a proud dad, mentoring Konate Mumfield, and Adams just could not stop talking about Konate's ability to ingest all of the information from the veteran wide receivers, changing his tempo, getting out of breaks, just the various tricks of the trade that veterans like Devontae Adams have, and Konate just eating it up apparently. So that's a really good sign. It'll be interesting to see, if Mumfield is really going to get snaps, because, got guys like Tutu and Jordan Whittington clearly ahead of him on the depth chart, right? Would McVay go to Mumfield over one of those two guys anytime soon? I'd have a hard time seeing that, but, maybe later in the year. Hey, why not? Let's keep Adams and Nakua fresh and rotate in all three of these guys. Micah Parsons and Terry McLaurin asking for trades, apparently. Now, in years past, Rams probably would have been all over it. And I think these are two positions. Doesn't really make a lot of sense. Now, would I love to have Micah Parsons or Terry McLaurin on this team? Absolutely. But it just doesn't really make sense. We're fairly deep on the edge. We've got two really good starters and wide receiver. Where does McLaurin fit in? You want to run those three guys out there? Wow. Adams, McLaurin, and Nakua, that'd be something else. What I'm more concerned about is McLaurin really makes sense for the 49ers, in my opinion, and I don't want that to happen. The NFL's top 100 countdown continues. Jared Verse coming in at number 53. Not a lot to talk about there. That's probably about where he belongs. If he was a veteran, 3 or 4 year veteran playing at this level, he'd probably even be higher. I suspect that a lot of scouts and evaluators and players around the league are saying, hey, let's get one more year out of this guy. But you talk to some of the guys that have played against him, He probably does deserve to be higher, but I'm not complaining about the 53rd best player in the National Football League. And then a gentleman from, where is this from? Yahoo Sports, Ben Solak. I'm sorry, it was ESPN. Ben Solak of ESPN. He took a stab at ranking the coaching staffs, and he didn't consider special teams or position coaches. He was strictly talking about head coach, and he admitted that he leans towards offensive-minded head coaches, and then the two coordinators. And he had the Rams coming in at 5th, and I suspect the fact that he actually had a lot of good things to say about Chris Shula, the way he did not blitz a lot, but was able to protect the secondary disguise coverages and be very creative in the coverages, using a secondary that, in his opinion, wasn't the most talented. That's probably accurate. And didn't blitz a lot, still got pressure, and the secondary, given the personnel they had, really played above their heads, perhaps. So overall, they came in at 5th. Now, who was first? It was the Minnesota Vikings, and a lot of that had to do with, you got a defensive coordinator like Brian Flores. That's gonna help you score a little bit. And Kevin O'Connell, another offensive-minded coach, that's built a great culture there. So not picking any bones with the Vikings being number 1. I think the 49ers came in at number 3, and Robert Saleh has a lot to do with that. That may be the 49ers' biggest addition. He is a solid. I hated seeing him across the sideline when the Rams were playing the 49ers back in the day. And he is back, unfortunately. Now, what else we got? I wanted to talk about Mike Tannenbaum. He was rating the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFC, and there is no mention of Matthew Stafford. And I said, I got to revisit my Mount Rushmore of Ram haters, and I had forgotten he's already there. I did this like 2 or 3 years ago. Terry Bradshaw definitely belongs there. Rodney Harrison, who I don't know if it's a Trent Green incident that's poisoned him against the Rams. Haven't really seen much of that lately, but going on old data and old observations on my part. And Mike Florio has actually maybe turned over a new leaf. He's been much more, shows a lot more admiration for the Rams than back in the day. I think when he saw the Rams bounce back after that Super Bowl run, going all in, and now they're going to collapse, and Matthew Stafford's retiring, and Sean McVay is going to be an announcer, just on and on about how they are overrated, not going anywhere. We won't hear from them again for 5 years, because, on and on his site about why the Rams are going to suck moving forward. And I don't listen or go to his site much more because of that. But when I have seen him, I think he's Sean McVay's buddy now, if I'm not mistaken. And Terry Bradshaw, I'll never forget the before that Rams Seattle game, just a knucklehead statement about his racehorse, giving up his racehorse of the Rams. It's going to take a miracle for the Rams to beat the Seahawks. Just a really dumb thing to say. I don't know of a better way of putting it. But Tannenbaum, remember back in the day, he criticized the Rams, calling them irresponsible for the way they gave up draft picks in pursuit of championships, and how it was not going to turn out well. And maybe because he was so wrong, he continues to kind of pick on the Rams. There's other instances as well. So he's still on my Mount Rushmore, and maybe I should take Mike Florio off. I'm not sure about that, but I need a replacement. Who is the 4th Ram hater that belongs on our Mount Rushmore? I'm being petty here, but hey, need to vent once in a while about these guys who pick on the Rams, and unwarranted attacks on the Rams over the years, and really poor opinions, poorly formulated opinions about a team they obviously have something against. I don't know what it is with Bradshaw. I have no clue, but he, in years past, has definitely shown a dislike for the Rams, in my opinion. Now, we needed to talk about another knucklehead, and I don't know who this guy is, so I'm not going to leave him up here for very long because I kind of feel bad for him now I think about it. But he shows up at Rams training camp wearing 49er gear with his girlfriend. And this is the difference between Rams and 49er fans. You know, if you're going to drop in on the 49ers training camp, don't wear Ram gear. Just don't do it. Show some class. And I think most Ram fans, if not all Ram fans, get that. But it always seems like it's 49er fans pulling stuff like this. I don't get it. Showing up at SoFi and taking pictures of claiming it to be Levi South, and in the background was the Rams Super Bowl banner. I'll never forget that one. But, you know, I would never do that at a 49. If I happened to be in town and said, hey, let's go over and check in on the 49ers, leaving my Ram gear at home, show some respect. But obviously, some of these 49er fans just love doing this stuff. And hey, they can choose to do that, and we can choose to ridicule them for doing that.
With a major selection of the looks your kiddos love starting at just $4 in the Walmart app, a new school year means a stylish new them. Who knew? Find skater skirts and Crocs that say, I'm casual but cool. Sparkly sneakers that say, it's my classroom, you're just learning in it. And preppy polos that say, I'm the teacher's pet, even if they're mommy's menace at home. Find their favorite styles starting at just $4 in the app. The Walmart you thought you knew is now new.
Close your eyes, exhale, feel your body relax, and let go of whatever you're carrying today.
Well, I'm letting go of the worry that I wouldn't get my new contacts in time for this class. I got them delivered free from 1-800-CONTACTS. Oh my gosh, they're so fast.
And breathe.
Oh, sorry. I almost couldn't breathe when I saw the discount they gave me on my first order. Oh, sorry. Namaste.
Visit 1-800-CONTACTS.com today to save on your first order.
1-800-CONTACTS.
The McDonald's Snack Wrap is back. You brought it back. Ranch Snack Wrap. Spicy Snack Wrap. You broke the internet for a snack. Snack Wrap is back. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Popsicles, sprinklers, a cool breeze. Talk about refreshing. You know what else is refreshing this summer? A brand new phone with Verizon. Yep, get a new phone on any plan with Select Phone Trade-in and My Plan. And lock down a low price for 3 years on any plan with My Plan. This is a deal for everyone, whether you're a new or existing customer. Swing by Verizon today for our best phone deals. 3-year price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate only. Additional terms and conditions apply for all offers.
Now, 10 standouts. Matt Harmon of Yahoo Sports was talking about 10 guys that he is impressed with so far in training camps across the league. I don't have all 10 listed here, but Texans running back Woody Marks, that one surprises me because we saw some data, I think Scott Richmond shared it, that was not very promising, the USC running back, and I had him in one of my early mock drafts, and then I shied away from him because there are some analytics that did not bode well for him in the NFL, and there he is performing well. And then the Bears wide receiver, Luther Burden. I remember a year ago, we were in love with this guy. And, you know, the Bears offense, if Caleb Williams can get it together, Roma Dunze, Colston Loveland, and Luther Burden, that could be quite a show there. And that's the next guy I have on this list, Bears tight end Colston Loveland. I don't have any details, just what Matt Harmon has been talking about. And then there's Bucks wide receiver Emeka Egbuka, Baker Mayfield, just being wowed by his early rise. And, you know, some analysts talked about him after the draft, said this is a dude that has all the traits, personality and skill-wise to be a very, very successful NFL wide receiver and immediately. So I may talk about him when we get around to our fantasy football episode coming up here soon. And Jags wide receiver cornerback Travis Hunter, I think, is getting more snaps on the offensive side. And Chargers running back Omarion Hampton. And I had a feeling about this guy. Everybody's talking about Gianti, who could very well end up being a great running back. But don't forget about this Hampton dude. I think he had 2 carries for 9 yards in that Hall of Fame game. And then remember wide receiver Kyle Williams out of Washington State. Ian and I were talking about this dude. Man, put on the highlight film of him, and he's just one of those guys that, oh, you just want him on your roster so bad. You're just not sure where he deserves to be drafted. And he ends up with the Patriots, a team that was noted for their lack of speed and lack of explosiveness. And so I think Kyle Williams is exactly what they need. And apparently he's turning it up in camp. And I would add, a Hall of Fame game. I was listening to it on the radio, actually. And Daniel Jeremiah was one of the announcers, and they were talking about Keandre Lambert-Smith. And to be honest with you, he is not a wide receiver that I had discussed at all, that I remember going up to the draft. Chargers selected him in the 5th round, and he could be a 5th round steal for them. Liked what I heard on the radio anyways, and I'll have to do some more research on him, but it sounds like he could be an impact player. So I wanted to talk about who is going to play, do we expect to see in this preseason opener. It's a week away, a little over a week away, against the Cowboys. Who's playing, who might be, and who's taking a seat? Well, quarterback, I think Stetson Bennett's going to play the whole game. I would expect that to be the case. And I would expect Jarquez Hunter, Cody Schrader, and Jordan Waters. I'm circling Jordan Waters on my bingo card. I think he'll get a lot of carries. Ronnie Rivers, I don't know. We know, I think the Rams staff knows enough about him. And he's fighting for a roster spot, and maybe they tuck him away for preseason game 2 or 3. It's kind of a tough call with a guy like him and a couple other guys. Is it disrespectful to not play him, or is it disrespectful to play him? I'm not sure. I think these guys want to play, especially when they know guys like Schrader and Waters and Hunter are after his what was previously his roster spot. So I'm not sure about Ronnie Rivers. And then, of course, Stafford, Jimmy G, Dresser, Wynn will all take a seat, as will Kyron Williams and Blake Corum. I feel pretty confident about that. They better take a seat. Now, the offensive line, I expect a starting offensive line. My guess here is A.J. Okuri, a left to right A.J. Okuri, Justin Dedich, Dylan McMahon, KT Leviston at right guard, and David Quisenberry at right tackle. Now, I could be wrong on the left tackle situation. It could be Weddick or Bowles. Willie Lampkin will definitely play, as will Ben Dooley. I think that's the guys. I think that's the offensive lineman that'll play throughout this game. Might be missing somebody. I don't think so. I don't have any maybes, although I have Bo Limmer taking a seat. Could he play? If the Rams want to continue developing him, as Sean McVay said, maybe he plays a little bit. Warren McClendon with Alaric Jackson sidelined. I think you got to sideline Warren McClendon and DJ Humphries too. I think all Ram fans will agree with that. Hopefully that's what the coaching staff is thinking as well. And then, of course, if Alaric's out, Steve Avila, Coleman Shelton, Kevin Dotson, and Big Rob will be in street clothes, I would hope. And let's move on to the tight ends. Torres and Redmond will be the main guys. I think Konate Mumfield will see the field regardless of how well he's playing. And Williams, the undrafted free agent wide receiver, Drake Stoops, and True Edwards will all play. Now, my maybes, will Davis Allen play? It's kind of similar to the Ronnie Rivers situation, although I think Davis Allen is going to be on this roster. Do you play him a little bit? I guess if you don't want Torres and Redmond playing the entire game, Davis Allen will see some action. I don't have Colby Parkinson on here, I just realized, but Colby Parkinson would be another guy who could play a few downs, but probably not. Terrence Ferguson, it'd be nice to get him a few touches. And Xavier Smith and Britton Covey. There's plenty of guys, I think, that we've talked about that can return kicks. Will Xavier, though, get some snaps at wide receiver? So I'm not sure about those guys. I'd like to see Ferguson out there for a couple of series with Stetson Bennett. And my apologies to Colby Parkinson. I went through this really quickly, looking at the roster. They probably got a few mistakes in here. but Colby Parkinson probably takes a seat along with Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua, Tutu Atwell, and Jordan Whittington. So there's some maybes here that I'm not sure about. And getting over to the defensive side, I think the rookie Ty Hamilton will play, as will the undrafted free agents Norton and it's Bill Norton and Dejon Terry. Jack Heflin's been around a while. He will play for sure, as will let me get his name right. I don't want to get his name wrong, so I got to look it up here real quick. I mess up names so much. I don't want to do it here. Give me 1 second. Who is it that I am talking about? I am talking about Decarius Hawthorne. Decarius Hawthorne. I was going to say Demarius. And so he will play for sure. Now, the two I'm not sure about, Deshaun Johnson and Darrell Murchison, and I think these guys will play in the preseason at some point. I'm just not sure when. This game against the Cowboys, very possible. You got 5 guys. Come to think of it, Deshaun and Murchison are probably going to play a little bit. There's just going to be too many snaps to divide up among 5 guys. So throw them in there as well. And taking a seat, Poona Ford, Braden Fisk, Kobe Turner. And I put Tyler Davis on here, taking a seat. I think that's correct. I'd be surprised if he played. But, he's a second-year guy. If they want to get him out there in some live action, maybe that's what happens. Moving on to the linebackers, I think Nick Hampton coming back from the injury will play as long as they feel like he's 100%. I have Brandon Jackson playing. He just played so little last year, and I think he's probably penciled in for a roster spot, but I still think they want to see him out there. And I got Jackson on there twice. So let's talk about the outside linebackers. Nick Hampton plays for sure, coming back from the injury. As long as he's 100%, they need to get him out there. Such a big special teams player. Maybe we'll see him on special teams as well. Brandon Jackson got so little action last year. I think you got to get him out there. And Keir Thomas, the same thing, a guy that is lacking in snaps. So I think they got to get him out there. And then Muhammad and Piercy, 2 undrafted free agents, they will play a lot. Now, Josiah Stewart, you tell me, is he going to play? On one hand, I want to see what he has. On the other hand, maybe not. I think what if he doesn't play, that tells you they are penciling him in as the number 3 outside linebacker, situational pass rusher. I think we're going to see a little bit of him, though. And then taking a seat, Jared Verse and Byron Young, of course. Now, who else we got on the at inside linebacker? Sean Dolak, Elias Neal, Tony Fields will be the primary guys out there. Does Troy Reeder play? It's kind of, again, back to the Ronnie Rivers situation. Is it disrespectful to play him? Is it disrespectful not to play him? He may be out there just to call plays. I don't know. I have no idea what they're going to do with Reeder in the preseason games. And then you got Omar Spates, Nate Landman, and Pooh Paul. They will be taking a seat. Pooh is, if he was 100%, I think he would play a little bit. And that's the one bummer. Love to see him in this situation. And because he can't play, maybe that's why we see Reeder. We get to the defensive backs. The 3 cornerbacks are Lampkin, A.J. Green, and Sean Jolly. Now, obviously, some other guys are going to play. I'm not sure who, though. Charles Woods, Josh Wallace, Darion Kendricks coming back from an injury as well. I would suspect he'll play a lot. They probably want to see a lot of Kendricks, come to think of it. I think Woods and Wallace are going to have to play a little bit just because you can't expect these 3 cornerbacks to go the whole game, I don't think. Maybe Lampkin, A.J. Green, Jolly, and Kendricks. Maybe those are the 4 guys. And Woods and Wallace take a seat. But, Woods and Wallace don't have tons of snaps, tons of experience, so I would expect they'll play some. And then taking a seat, Witherspoon, D. Will, Forbes, he's still banged up, and Durant. Those 4 will not suit up, I can guarantee you. Then we got the safeties. I think with Cam Curl out, well, he wasn't going to play anyways, was he? But Nate Valcarcel, Tanner Engel, and Dixon Williams will be the 3 safeties. And they'll probably have to rotate some of those cornerbacks back there a little bit to help out. They'll just throw 5 or 6 defensive backs, call them what you want. Heck, it's the first preseason game. Quentin Lake, Jalen McCullough, Cam Kinchins, and Cameron Curl will be in street clothes, I fully expect. Could McCullough play a little bit? I hope not, but I guess it's possible. So that's my predictions as far as playing time in preseason game number 1. Let me know where I'm getting it wrong. Let me know where I'm getting it right. Let me know who you want to see the most. Who do you want to not play at all? Guys that maybe the Rams are considering playing and you just rather they not even think about it. Those borderline guys. Are there any borderline guys that you would just rather not play in this preseason opener against the Cowboys? Because number 1, let's just stay healthy. The W, they're always nice. I always want to win any game I want to win. But the most important thing is walking off the field this game and having no significant injury concerns, and maybe a few of these undrafted guys and a couple of the rookie second-year players really step up and shine. That's what we want to see, and that's what we're hoping for out here from Rams Up.
The Nordstrom Anniversary Sale is on now. Shop new arrivals on sale for a limited time from Madewell, Bobbi Brown, New Balance, and more. You'll find tons of deals under $100 on summer-ready fits, plus beauty exclusives from your favorite brands. Nordstrom makes shopping easy in stores, at Nordstrom.com, and on their app. Hurry, prices go up August 4th.
That's going to do it for this episode. Remember, you can reach us at ramsuppodcast@gmail.com. And don't forget about our YouTube channel. Till next time, keep the horns up, stay safe, and have fun out there.